A day of making $500 an hour. All right, on our road to $500 an hour, the first thing we're gonna do is snag. Let's see if you guys can see it. That ABS unit. This is O2 F250. That should go for between $150 and $200, and it costs approximately $30 depending on your yard. All right, first things first, you got two 8mm right here on this baffle. You're gonna take that, throw that over there. Then you're gonna have some, I believe they're 13mm. Inch long neck reach. Look at that extra length, way better than a regular typical. They discontinued the orange, but you can still grab one of these. These make it so much easier pulling parts off the vehicle. All right, now we can get to that ABS unit right here. Looks like it's mounted by some tins and these lines. We're just going to cut these lines and get to it. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but we're pulling this ABS unit off this O2 F250. Should sell for about $150, $200. We're down here. We took the battery tray off, or whatever the hell that thing was. Now we're going to cut these steel lines. Then we're going to remove the 10mm that are holding the bracket on. We're going to pull it bracket and all. There's one line. Two lines. 3, 4, and 5. Gotta bend those out of the way. Show you what we did there. We cut those lines, and then there is two 10mm holding that bracket on. We're gonna pull it bracket and all. Actually, there's a third 10mm right down there. Luckily, we got this right here. This extension is gonna let us get right down in there and keep our hands up top, where it makes it way easier to work. I use one of these. You take this 3/8 male to male, you put it in one end, then you just simply slap it on there. And then you're going to use your ratchet, or in this case, an impact ratchet wrench, and you're just going to loosen it right out of there. Like that, it's out of there. Sometimes you gotta wrestle with it depending on where it's at. And I think we're about to birth an ABS unit. It is. All that's left is that wiring harness, which we are going to cut with these cable cutters right here. There we go. Now have an ABS unit out of an O2 F250, and including the recording, took us about 20 minutes to pull. $30, $150 to $200 sale value. Pretty decent return. All right, next up, someone already did half the work for us. This is a fuse box out of this O2 F250 right there. Made in Mexico. We're gonna pull that out. Someone already did half the work for us. We're just gonna cut that. All right, this is the fuse box. This is the fuse box removal out of an F2. Ah, damn. This is a fuse box removal out of an O2 F250. It's like a tongue twister for me. And we're just gonna cut the wiring harness. Gonna keep on hacking and hacking. fastly here. Slowly coming loose, whatever you want to call it. No, you're good. I was making sure I wasn't in your way. And the last cut. There it is. The fuse box out of an 02 F250, or as I've been saying, OF 250. You do want to make sure everything's intact. I'll show you guys the inside. Bam, perfect condition. This is $35 where I'm at. It should go for between $100 and $200. We're tearing this F250 up. The last thing I grabbed off it was this, the center console right here. About 25, 30 bucks. All this is 213s on this side and a Torx bit on that side, and it's out. I think that's about all we're gonna snag off that for the day. All right, next thing we're grabbing is this radio bezel from a 2004 RAV4. I'm gonna attempt to do this one-handed. This should just pop off. Look for the easiest place to start it. Should just be a couple clips on each side. And gently pull those off. Sorry, I'm trying to do it one-handed. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes they can be a pain to get started. There we go. So it's better to be careful and take your time than it is to break them. So there we go. No broken clips. No broken clips. However, the clips for that one did stay in there, but that's all right. We're gonna pull the whole surround piece, just some 4 Phillips head screws, and this thing is gonna be out. All right, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Yep, I got that one. And let's see. There it is. That's all we want right there. We don't need the top and lower too. So you got that. And we're just gonna snap these back on there. We about lost those clips, but we did retrieve them. You do want to keep those because these will not clip in there without those little metal clips right there. And that's what it looks like now. This is $15 here, and it should sell quick, like for $75 to $80 plus shipping. The next thing we're getting off this same Toyota RAV4. It's only 4 10mm bolts. This is this hood scoop. This one is faded, but it's only gonna be $5 to $15 depending on where you're at. And this one should sell for about $150. A lot of them sell for $200, but as you can see right there, it is faded, but we're gonna snag it anyway and take the gamble. Pulling parts from the junkyard requires that you guys have tools. That's why I always bring this with me. How easy it works. This 410s is all you got to pull out right there. Thankfully, I have this 18-volt electric ratchet right there. This one has the 4-inch extended neck, making this a super easy job to pull those nuts. Next thing we're going to pull is from an 05 to 08 PT Cruiser. These fuse boxes sell like hotcakes for me. With the lid is $35 on my dismantler. Don't know how much it'll be where you are at. And these are pretty easy to pull. You got these 3 or so little clips. So you kind of just got to work it up. You pull them back and you work them up like a side at a time. And that's going to bring the fuse box loose from the bracket. Then you can get to where you can cut or do whatever it is you need to do. Yep, this one's still caught up. now we're just gonna get in there with our cutters, if he'll stay up there. And we're gonna start hacking. I'm gonna start cutting the harness here. I have to find a different lid or not buy the lid, because that lid has a broken tab on it. See, these have a similar shape to like Avengers and stuff, but they're not. The wiring's not the same. The pinouts are not the same. So they have different part numbers. And the Avengers are a little bit easier to get out of there as well. One wire holding that first section left on there. That loosens it up a lot. That's where we can pull it on out. And of course, like with anything, you want to make sure it's not damaged. Anywhere you want to inspect all the tabs, the mounts, as much as you can. You can either pull the wiring off or you can leave it. I haven't noticed much of a difference in sales by leaving it on or removing it. Since I'm on a time crunch, I'm just going to cut those shorter and skedaddle. Since on the PT Cruiser, if you're on a time crunch, you can leave that, but since I am, I'm going to just cut these shorter and get out of here. And the last thing we're going to grab today is going to be this hood scoop off an 02 Subaru Impreza. It has a 05-01 manufacturer's. It has an 05-01 manufacturer's date, but it has a GG or a GD as the prefix on the VIN number, which is right there. Is actually an 02 model year. So even though it was made in May, this is actually an 02 model year. All we're going to need to do is pull those 8mm, 5, 6 of them, and that thing's going to slide right out. This is the best hex drive set on TikTok shop. We're getting ready to use it right here to pull off a part for the junkyard. The Toolant. See, it just snaps into place right here. 8mm deep well is what we're going after, because we're pulling this hood scoop for this 2002 Subaru Impreza. I'm gonna try to keep most of these nuts actually. See, look how effortlessly that combination pulls this stuff right off. And it should be the last one. And with the exception of these little clips right here, it should be ready to come off. Yep. All right, I'm gonna have to pause.